Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. We've almost made it to the weekend, and we have another TYR WZA SoCal athlete announcement. We are getting close. This is going to be our next athlete announcement for the North America team. But if you don't know what TYR WZA SoCal is, have you been living under a rock? Because we keep putting information out there. They are, of course, having their competition in Miami, Florida, but they are doing a second competition on the West Coast in Southern California. And this one is going to have North America versus the world, teams of 8 with the elite CrossFit athletes. For more details, I'm going to play an explainer video from our very own Tommy Marquez.
WZA are excited to bring to the world a competition that's the first of its kind. Introducing the TYR Cup. TYR WZA is expanding the celebration from Miami all the way to SoCal. The TYR Cup's home will be none other than the iconic Huntington Beach. The TYR Cup is a 3-day head-to-head team matchup of athletes proudly repping their nationality and region, North America versus the world. Big teams means big prizes. In the inaugural year, the winning team will take home a whopping $160K, with the runners-up receiving $40K and a $10K cash prize for the single MVP of the weekend, propelling their team to victory. How do teams work? Teams are comprised of the best athletes in the world, 4 men and 4 women per squad, with a male and female captain. Adding to the excitement, captains get to pick their 4th and final male and female teammates. The TYR Cup events close out each day of competition and feature the following unique fitness test types. Individual. All athletes from all teams compete in the same workout against each other in same-gendered heats. All hands. This test finds all 8 athletes working together in some form or fashion, whether relay style at the same time or in a team style metcon. Spotlight. Teams nominate 1 male and 1 female based on specific skill sets, including a strength test, a gymnastics test, and a monostructural test. Miami team. 3 guys and 3 girls perform separate workouts each, with 1 male and 1 female sitting out. CrossFit Games team. This brings together teams of 2 men and 2 women with 2 different workouts. Captains. This event has team captains take the stage and will make up the final event of the weekend. Teams will strategize to put their best athletes on the floor, depending on the event and their strengths, to represent their squad. Teams gain a point per event win, with the team with the most event victories at the end of the weekend taking home the hardware. Who will be the inaugural TYR Cup champions? Find out for yourself. Huntington Beach, September 20th through the 22nd. Be there.
Oh, yeah, the perfect time of year to go to Southern California. As we mentioned, there is going to be the North America team versus the world. The athletes that we know so far on Team North America is Jeffrey Adler, Danielle Brandon, Justin Medeiros, and then against them on Team World, we have Tia Claire Toomey, Lazar Jukic, and Sahar Kaya. We are now going to announce who that 4th, so about half of our team so far for North America team. And she's been to the CrossFit Games 3 times. She's going to make her 4th appearance this year. And she is not just the 3rd fittest woman on earth, but also the fittest American woman. Let's welcome in now Ariel Lowen. Ariel Lowen, our next athlete announcement. Congratulations on Team North America.
Thank you. It's a huge honor. And when I first got the email, I thought it was just like, hey, you're invited to sign up for SoCal WZA. And then after looking at it, I was like, whoa, wait, this is a huge honor. I'm one of, 6 that they chose. So I was just like, Yes, thank you. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, teams of 8, which
Teams
I
of
think
8. Okay.
is super unique because I mean, you had an experience being on a team last year at FitFest in the UK, and kind of just speak to how much communication goes into being on a team, especially with 7 other teammates.
The hardest part, which sounds so goofy, is there were 8 of us and we're all good athletes, right? So the hardest part was like, okay, we're good at everything. Now, how do we stick together? So the hardest part was working as a team to figure out like who goes where, who goes first, who goes second. So hopefully I'm not good at that. Hopefully we have someone on our team who's like good to see where to place us strategically.
So far we know that Jeffrey Adler is on your team, Justin Medeiros is on your team, and then Danielle Brandon, who ironically enough, you have been on a team with last year at FitFest.
Yeah, she was our team captain last year at FitFest. So once I saw her name get announced, because they haven't told me the teams yet, I was like, oh, sweet. I know what she's like as a teammate. She's phenomenal. She can kind of do everything. So I was like, good. I know her. I've never spoken much with Medeiros or Adler, so it'll be an opportunity just to get to know them more.
And this format to me is so unique because while it is kind of these super teams of individual athletes, it's not just a showcase. You guys are competing for a lot of money. What do you think that communication is going to look like when you get all of these high level athletes into one room on one team?
It's going to be interesting. My expectation is that we will not be at peak fitness. You know, we're going to be coming off the games, taking a few weeks off, and then maybe ramping it up a bit for the competition. My expectation is to kind of see like maybe start a group text before, like, are we showing up fit? Are we showing up like healthy fit, or are we just like having fun? So it'll be interesting to see the dynamic.
Well, when you know that you guys are going against a team with, so far we know Tia Claire Toomey, Lazar
Right.
Jukic, Sahar Kaya, I know that at least Tia is probably going to
Yeah.
be there to want to take down your team.
Right. And that's one thing I recognized at FitFest. FitFest was not for money, it was just for fun. But still, the competitor inside all of us was like, okay, we're here to win every workout. We're here to make a statement. We're here to stand on top of the podium. And it's like, wait, this is all for fun, but we're such competitors that we just like take it to the next level.
What types of team workouts from that experience did you realize that you really love, and which ones do you maybe not want to be part of for SoCal?
I loved the final event at FitFest. Me and DB went synchro on muscle ups, synchro front squats. So stuff like that I loved. The harder part was the worm because I don't have any experience on a team with a worm. So just figuring out how to hold it, which arm goes where, to pick it up on this shoulder. Took some practice. It was a little tricky.
Do you like anticipate on practicing with any of the athletes on your team before you guys actually get to SoCal?
My expectation is, let's say it starts on a Thursday, Wednesday we would practice. But other than that, like, I'm not flying up to Canada or going to where Medeiros is. Like, it just doesn't work with the schedule.
Are you going to be the official mom of the group?
That's right. I'll have all the fruit snacks, all the drinks if they need it. I know my role.
The
Yeah.
snacks,
Right.
everything. What about the outfits? Who do you think from the
Ooh.
athletes we know on the team is going to coordinate that?
I don't think it's going to be DB, unfortunately. It might have to be me, but I also am kind of expecting, like, TYR Wadapalooza is going to go big. I'm expecting them to make us potentially look good all in the same outfits, hopefully. I feel like that would look really professional if North America was a certain color wave, the world was a certain color wave.
Ooh,
It'd be
I like that
classy.
idea.
Yeah.
New format. I mean, Wadapalooza in itself is always a spectacle going to Miami. Now them adding this second competition, a different format. What were your initial thoughts when you started hearing rumblings about this and just the way that TYR Wadapalooza has been able to expand and grow and get elite athletes like yourself involved?
They're super smart because when I first heard about it, the January one I always consider. But once I heard there's one in September, I was like, hey, that's the off season. I will not be there. I already know. I'm not going to compete at the games and then go individual again and then do rogue. Like, that's just a little bit too much.
Mhm.
So once they released the format and the teams, I was like, oh, okay, this is something I will show up for and be a part of. So they made it intriguing enough that my hard no when they came at me was a hard yes.
And just speaking to that, because we do look at the off season and it truly is so condensed. When you look at Wadapalooza now having 2 events, you look at Rogue, you look at Dubai, even people competing in Madrid. There are so many different options. Why do you think specifically that this format is something that is digestible to an athlete of your caliber, especially with this time of year?
Yeah, the teams. So team at SoCal and then team at FitFest, potentially in the UK. The team is a lot more enduring because you know there's going to be built-in rest. You know they're going to strategically place it so you don't have to sell out every single event and make every second count. It seems a little bit more endearing because it's teams, but I've also heard from people that you push harder because you're on teams. So it's just like
Mm.
a catch 22, but I did have a lot of fun in FitFest on my experience with a team. So who wouldn't want to be team with like DB, Maderos, Jeff Adler?
I mean, I'm so excited just to watch because
Yeah.
anytime you get individual athletes together, it's just a unique experience because what we've seen is even the best individual athlete might not be the best person on a team, but watching the process of communication and how things actually turn out on the floor, I think is so entertaining.
Yeah, it's either beautiful poetry or it's a train wreck. And you kind of don't know until in the moment what's going to happen.
Do you think that there will be any train wreck moments? And if so, what would they be?
Oh, I think if there are train wreck moments, it's going to be on the worm or synchro of some capacity where like the individual doesn't get to shine. You now have to look at somebody else and synchro with them if that comes up. I'd like to think if we're all thinking about the other person and like looking at them, we would be like in tune to be in sync. But you never know. As soon as you step on the floor, like it's a lot of thinking.
Okay, turning now to obviously we are less than a month away from the CrossFit Games. You program for yourself. You put a post
Yeah.
out a couple of weeks ago. I mean, you're okay. Hold on. First of all, you have become so entertaining on social media in the last year. Let's
Thank
start
you.
there.
Starting in 2021, my goal was to like tell my story more. And I found that like being goofy and kind of just expressing myself more on social media helps with that. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, I am always looking at your content because it's just so funny. And whether
Thank you.
Dylan wanted to be a part of your social media journey or not, he now is. And sometimes he's even the lead star of
Right.
social media, which is hilarious.
It is. I've kind of like he's been in my back pocket, you know, but getting him he personally hates social media. So just getting him a little bit more into it with me, like I'm reading the comments, the people love him. So now I'm like, hey Dylan, you just have to like stand in this reel so people will see you and then like me more.
Oh, no, it is so well crafted and I love
Thank
it.
you.
But one of the posts that you put out was I think there were papers all over your counter and you were kind of evil as you were programming for yourself. What has been the worst thing that you've programmed for yourself to get you ready for games training?
Okay, so
Share as
I
much
have
as you want.
yeah, I have what's called death buys. So I'll do like
Oh.
every 3 minutes, run 400 meters, 10 burpee box jumps. That's round one. Now it's a death buy. Round two will be
Mhm.
run 400 meters, 11 burpee box jumps. Run 400 meters, 12. So it's that concept of as you get fatigued, it sucks, but guess what? You have more work to do. So you have to run a little bit faster and burpee a little bit faster if you want rest. So the caveat is always like, you can go slower, but you won't get the rest. And then you still have to increase a rep on the next round. And then by the end of it, I'm just like, why the heck did I do this? I'm in pain. This is miserable, but I never regret it once I like step outside of the gym and walk into my house. I'm like, okay, I'm proud of the effort today. It sucked, but I improved, and that's the goal.
But it's really interesting to me because I And everybody's mindset is a little different, but I know if I am paying a coach or I'm paying for a service, I'm going to do it, because if I don't do it, that's just money down the toilet.
Right.
To not pay someone to program these wicked things for yourself. Have you always been a little crazy like that?
I think I'm discovering that I am. Like yesterday, I programmed something on Sunday that I then had to do on Thursday. And I woke up and was like, okay, today's going to hurt. I'm not really looking forward to this. And then about 10 minutes before I was going to start the workout, my training partner was like, hey, I got held up at a meeting. I won't make it. So not only do I have the crazy,
Oh,
okay,
God.
you programmed this. Now it's like, how bad do you want it? Literally nobody is there watching you. Start the clock and do it. And so I almost think I have to have a little bit of crazy in my mind to push myself enough to lay on the floor, knowing that nobody knows, nobody cares if I actually do what's programmed. But Dylan was sweet. I kind of expressed like, hey, I'm really not looking forward to this workout. So he called me as soon as it ended and was like, okay, did you do it? Did you survive? Just to give me a little bit accountability, because I mean, the birds were watching, but that was it.
Watching by the birds. I like that Dylan
Yeah.
kind of helps you with that accountability, because I can imagine that, yeah, sometimes you wake up and you're like, I do not want to do this. And I wrote this for myself.
I know. And that's kind of been, I don't want to say mental, but the hardest part of this year is it's a daily voluntary choice to put myself through pain. So I wake up in the morning and it's like, well, I don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it because the games are here and I want to do my best at the games. But it's a voluntary, okay, let's go dark. Let's get in the pain cave. And when you voluntarily go dark for a month straight, it's just like, oh, it hurts. But I know when the games come, I'll be super proud that I did that in practice. So hopefully I can just like show and shine a bit.
This will be your 4th year to the CrossFit Games. Last year, you finished on the podium, third.
Yeah.
How do you manage expectations or give yourself that carrot to chase, knowing that if you were only looking at a leaderboard and your expectation was to go higher on the leaderboard, there's not much
I know.
room to move. So how do you manage, like, how do you determine success this year?
Yeah, that's so funny. Me and Dylan talked about that a week ago, because every year I've been to the games, I've been very blessed to improve every year. And realistically, previous year I got 11th place. So I was like, okay, top 10. So to get third, I'm like, how does it get better than third? Like, of course you can say first and second, but you know, that's their own feast in themselves. So for us, our perspective this year is, yes, it could improve, but maybe I improve or we measure our success based on the encounters that happen backstage, based on the relationships, based on powerful moments that aren't on the competition floor. So it's easy to measure success based on the leaderboard, but what if it's deeper and there's more happening that nobody sees, but that's really impactful to us?
And you will be packing your American flag this year, correct?
It will be in the truck just in case the opportunity presents itself. It would be extremely special, of course, to stand on the podium again with the same American flag, but also making it to the games 4 times, amazing. If I finish in the top 10, amazing. If I come out healthy, amazing. So I kind of have to like talk myself down just so I'm thankful in every circumstance of like, okay, if it's not podium, let's hope it's top 10. If it's not top 10, let's hope I'm healthy. If I'm not healthy, then like, let's hope my family still loves me, and they will. So it's all good at the end of the day.
They absolutely will. You are truly one of the kindest, most down to earth people that I have ever met.
You're so
And
sweet.
I mean,
Thank you.
it truly is hard for anybody to cheer against you, though, when you just come onto the floor with such kindness and grace and always a
Thank
big
you.
smile. So I
Oh,
appreciate that,
thank you.
those vibes that you give off.
I am
No,
excited. First event in the Dickies Arena. I know a
yeah.
lot of people from Texas coming. So I'm really excited for the first event in the Dickies when they call my name, just to be like, okay, how loud is it gonna be? Are my friends gonna show up? You know, and just hear it, because I'll have a hometown crowd, and I wouldn't say I ever really had that in Madison.
Are you going to wear a cowgirl hat for any of the events?
No, that I don't wear a cowgirl hat at any time of my life, so I feel like that would be really inauthentic.
Random.
But
Yeah.
I would love. Me and Dylan had this idea last night. We've been obviously like practicing versions of Chad to
Yeah.
make a shirt that has like "I'm tired of this, Grandpa," and it's my face, and then on the back it's like "That's too dang bad," and it's Dave Castro's face, and like Dylan would
Oh.
wear it for like. So we're like gonna do goofy things, but I don't really have the freedom to wear whatever I want because we have uniforms.
Mhm.
But we're gonna try and sprinkle it in on Dylan here and there.
Amazing. You should team up with your sponsors and do some kind of giveaway of like, where's Waldo, where's Dylan in the
Yes,
crowd, and then like he has like little things from your partners to like give out if somebody like finds him and takes a picture with him in
that'd
the
be
shirt.
awesome. I've already kind of dabbled with that. I'm gonna buy a bunch of my rogue shirts, and like if
Oh,
you see
perfect.
me, I'm gonna be like handing out stuff every day. Because part of the fun is like people show up to see us. I want them to
Mhm.
leave like I met this person and then I got a shirt and just like leave with the best experience ever.
Oh, I love that. I cannot wait to see you out there. The
Thank you.
game, when it ends, will you take any time off before TYR Wadapalooza SoCal?
Oh yeah, I plan to definitely rest and recover. We will go to what's called Great Wolf Lodge, which is in Dallas, an indoor water park. So we'll have a little family vacation. And then this sounds so goofy, but I'm so excited to come back home and clean the grout in my floors. But it's one of those things. I
Relaxing?
yeah, just relaxing and like I don't want to do unnecessary tricep work if I don't have to.
Oh,
So
yeah, good point.
yeah, it takes some. So once I come back, I have a few house projects that I'd like to tackle.
Perfect. Well,
Yeah.
Ariel Lowen, our fittest American mom, I can't wait to
Thank
see you in
you.
Texas at the games. And then I can't wait to see you at TYR Wadapalooza SoCal in
Yeah, I know.
California.
We'll meet you at the beach.
Oh, there will absolutely be documented and required beach time.
Absolutely.
I've
Absolutely.
never been there. Have you been there?
No, no. But I think we're gonna make it a family affair. Blakely usually does not come
Perfect.
with me, but I think we're gonna have some fun at the beach as a family.
I can't wait. Well, congratulations. And I will see you very, very